We are back to our giant box of Quest 3 accessories, a bunch of different stuff. In the last video, if you missed it, we covered a Quest 3S budget setup. A lot of you were curious about this strap. The strap's been around just a minute now. Black Friday sales have started. This thing is down to $48. We're gonna unbox this, several others, test them out, and get back at you with thoughts of what you need this Black Friday. Let's open this thing up.
Timon, what are you doing?
Just kidding. Apex reached out and let me know that because of the Black Friday sale they have this thing on, they've already sold out and they may not even restock till after the holidays. So apparently a lot of you out there liking it. They've asked if we hold off on the review maybe until next year when they actually have some restock, because we don't want to get you all excited and then not be able to get any. But I told them that I am about to take off for Europe. United XR is happening. I'm gonna be spending a little bit of time in Europe touring around. And I explained to them I only have like a 40-liter, tiniest backpack you're allowed to have on an airplane in Europe. And there's no room for my usual Quest and its full-size strap and everything. And they said, hey, we've got a brand new strap that's more meant for like travel, compactness. Why don't you check that out? So we've got another box fully taped up. These designers, I swear, just love watching me struggle on camera with their amounts of tape they put on stuff these days. So this is the new Apex I don't know if the official name is a travel strap, but obviously some inspiration was taken from the Apple Vision Pro here. The wide design, the air channeling vents, and this is my first time ever seeing this thing in person. So it feels like it's mostly made of silicone. It's a Quest 3 or 3S strap. You can tell because it's got the USB, but also the aux port here. Yeah, this actually reminds me, remember those grips of Apex that we loved forever? This feels like the same design here. It also has the channels on them, so it's supposed to help breathe a little better, be a little bit better with comfort. Oh, my Quest is trying to turn on me. But now this happened, this video is gonna be a little out of order, as you're gonna notice. So we unboxed this now later in the video, but I need a facial interface, so I'm gonna grab out this Apex facial interface for the Quest 3 that they also sent me. And if you've been in the channel long enough, you know the head straps I really love, but you also know that I've said there is sometimes a time and a place for that stock strap or other simple straps, and that is if you're traveling and you can't take something quite so big with you. Okay, don't have a head any bigger than mine though. I have a gigantic head, but I mean, we are on the cusp here of running out of top strap, so my head size is basically the limit for this. It's been a while since I've rocked a stock head strap, and obviously already strapping this thing to my face with the facial interface, I'm missing my fan and stuff that I usually have on the head strap. But I gotta say, the weight on this, it's so wide in the back that it's really gripping under my skull instead of just like the top or around the top. I also have kind of a weird shaped head. I think I might have been dropped as a kid. Mom, if you're here, drop a comment in the comments if that happened, because I've always wondered. But unlike the stock strap, this feels like the exact opposite. You're not gonna have this thing running around on you anywhere. This thing is solid in place. Like there's just so much surface area on the back of my head here that it feels like it's not going anywhere. I feel a knob of butter. Oh, what the heck? So I can cinch it down further with this knob on the side, but I'm not exactly sure how to loosen it. Man, I feel like this thing is if you want to do backflips in VR, but now I'm not sure how you loosen it then, because you definitely don't just turn it, you don't push it in. So what this gear is, you can actually see if you look closely at the engineering, there is 2 strong cables in here that are also holding all this silicone in place. If you had it only be silicone, it could always stretch, it could always stay loose. It's almost like 2 fishing lines. You turn this and it tightens those down inside to really hang on to your head. That's innovative, I haven't seen that before. But what I have not figured out is how to let it go. I just keep getting it tighter and tighter.
Try pulling it out.
Quinn said try pulling out, which I have never done. So now I know that if you pull out, you can loosen it all the way and then you can retighten it again. What an interesting strap. So yeah, once you get it to where you want it, you just tighten it down further. And then if you want to undo it, pull it out, you hear it unlock, and then you can untighten it. Well, obviously this and all the other accessories that we haven't already tried today in this video, we will be having to take away and do some testing with. So I'm gonna take this away for a while, and we're gonna cut back to the first video where we were unboxing everything else. So away we go. All right, let's keep this rolling. Potentially one of my absolute favorite things Apex has ever designed, their haptic gun stocks. Now, if you're interested in the world of haptics, there's a lot of different ways to do them. A perfect, very expensive, and very hard to program world, a haptic gun works inside of the game. The game knows what the haptic gun is gonna do and reacts to that. That means installing SDKs, that means possible glitches, that means a lot. So Apex did something they designed, which is pretty clever. Instead of all of that, they bypass that by just allowing you to have something like this that attaches to your controller, and then it has a trigger that attaches over your trigger, and it adds the haptics without having to program anything, without having to do anything. It's literally just that trigger is making it happen. Semi-auto, auto. So your Quest controller just falls into there. It secures in place with these 2 clips. Secures very well, I've got to say. And now, when I'm in game and I'm aiming, it adds a haptic recoil to each one. It is loud, but I found that when you're in the game, you're already hearing the gunshot sounds. It adds to it, the feeling that it adds. But of course, there are some cons with the design. One, if your mag runs out in game, you're not really gonna know that by the haptics because it's not gonna stop shooting like it would normally. So that's where something like a programmed one is gonna be more accurate at that, but a lot of work. 2, the design, all the weight's in the front. I do wish they'd found a way to like have the battery hang back or something because it does get a little fatiguing after a while you playing like this. But what I also actually use mine for is I'll play something like Pavlov where I'm mostly using assault rifles and 2-handed weapons. So I'll have my left hand free in a game like Pavlov where I can grab my mags, I can reload, I can throw grenades. But then this acts like a quick stock. A quick stock is like one of those gun stocks you've seen where your guns lock in, except instead of having your left hand lock in, you leave your left hand free and you just rest the other one on you. And then I'll be using it like this, typically in automatic mode because I'm using like an assault rifle. And then I can do this. I get the haptics, I get the sound, I get the stability of keeping my hands together, but I still have that ultimate freedom like this, and it's really awesome. A couple other considerations with it though. It does have a battery, you do have to recharge it. USB-C. They did something interesting where the battery can come off, so you can leave this on here if you want and go charge it up. The one risk that adds is over time, I've said just leave them in, don't take them out, charge them like this, because if that does get too loose and you're playing pistol whip and you're really swinging, that could come out. It starts off strong enough, stable enough that that's not really gonna happen, but over time, it could get to where you do this number and this thing goes flying and you barely know it because you're in VR having a great time. These are pretty revolutionary and an awesome addition to your VR experience if you're playing pistol or something. Also on a Black Friday sale, I would highly recommend if you've ever considered wanting something with haptics, get a set of these, check them out. I love these things. Anytime I put someone new in pistol whip, I give them these too because that extra feeling it adds when you're playing, it's just so cool. You do have to take off if you have a controller grip or something on, you have to take that off to get them in. These are probably my favorite thing Apex has ever made and one of the coolest accessories just in general I've seen. So innovative and it just works. What else have we got? A Quest 3 facial interface, it looks like, because I see the button adjustments on the side for glasses wearers. Comes with a lens cover, a lot of these do these days. For me, I don't really use lens covers because I keep my headsets mostly inside, but if you're ever someone who takes your Quest outside, use a lens cover because these lenses are magnifying glasses. And if you're a psychopath, as we've said before, like many children are, you know what happens when you take a magnifying glass to ants, and in an instant, if sunlight gets in these, it can destroy the screens inside. Something to keep in mind if you do get one of those, you've got one Quest 3 facial interface, 2 pad options. You've got the foam pad. Some people like these more for fitness and stuff. I kind of hate them in that use, but this absorbs the sweat, keeps it from rolling down to your eyes. I prefer the pleather because I don't like the pad to absorb a bunch of moisture. So this is the one I would stick with in here. It has a nose light gap cover. Actually, that is one of the best fitting ones I've seen. The way it's split down the middle, it really stays on my nose, so that's pretty cool. Buttons on the side allow it to extend out for glasses wearers, so if you're switching your headset out with different people. It looks like 3 settings, all the way in, a midpoint setting, and then all the way out. Not a huge extension, but it's like the stock Meta Quest facial interface that you get with the 3. You don't get that with the 3S, but basically, it just allows you to slide the whole thing out to accommodate. And it's nice that the buttons stay on the outside, so in theory, you could have it here and you could actually still adjust it while on your face. Unlike the stock Meta one, you have to reach inside, press a button, extend it out. So I was hoping there was a Quest 3 strap in here of some sort so that we could just build a whole Quest 3 setup to test. So many mysteries. This one completely doesn't say what it is, so let's just find out. Could it be? Is it a Quest 3 strap? Yes.
Are you sure about that?
A Halo strap. Looks to be Quest 3 or 3S. It's a slide-on design like the Bobo VR. Just kidding. Quest 3S also Halo design. Are the arms on the Quest 3 and the Quest 3S different sizes? That doesn't make sense. This might have just been backwards. From the top. What is this? There's no way I have a Quest 2 strap in here, do I? That would be a blast from the past. That'd be kind of funny though. There's no way. There's no way. Only the channel OGs will remember this one. I haven't had this out in a minute. No way. No way. What? Somehow an accessories parts manufacturer has sent me a Quest 2 strap in 2025. That is crazy. Man, that blows my mind. It's been so many years since I've reviewed anything Quest 2, which is funny because I know like a lot of people still have Quest 2s out there. This is like an original Halo strap though, from like the original days of the Quest 2. That's wild. Like this was when Quest 2s first started having Halo straps and people were like, what are these things? They're so weird. But people like me from the PSVR community, we remembered the comfort and the greatness of the Halo. Man, I can't even say I've had my head in a Quest 2 in a while. That is hilarious. Quest 2 back on the table. Takes me back. Who remembers these 3D printed speakers I got forever ago? I modified those multiple times. Well, that was funny. I really thought there was a Quest 3 strap in there. Boy, do they even still sell these? Quest 2 fans, shoot down to the comments section. Let me know that's what you're still rocking. What else do we have? Oh, just a travel cover for your Quest 3S. Stays on, really covers it. Offers it some good protection. It's got these little air pockets here that are squishy. Yeah, not compatible with the Quest 3. I mean, sort of. You could shove it in there and then put it in a backpack just to kind of cover it, but that's interesting. I didn't even know anyone was making anything like this. A lot of people make like the silicone ones that stay on and they have holes for the vents and everything like this. Clearly, you would have to take this off every time you use it, but a little extra protection. If they make one of these just for the Quest 3, I actually might get one because I'm about to go to Europe for like 10 days and I can only take a backpack. So I can't take one of my big Quest cases. I'm probably not even gonna take a Quest strap. I'm probably gonna put either a stock strap back on it, or there's these new straps I've seen that are like really soft fabric that can condense down. I might do that to get through Europe, and it would be nice to at least have something covering these while I'm traveling. So it'd be nice. If they have one of these in Quest 3 model, I'll actually go buy that right now, just so I have it for the trip. Either I guess I could take a Quest 3S, but if you have a Quest 3 and a Quest 3, why are you taking a Quest 3S with you? That's funny. What else? What are you? What are those? PSVR comfort mod, dang. Okay, we're gonna save that one for a different video, I think. We're here for Quest. That's cool though, because I'm not in love with the PSVR and its comfort. We've actually reviewed these before. This is something I was hoping might be in this kit because I have been considering using one of these on my trip to Europe. So what this is the stock Quest strap, which we hate, and you know that. This goes on that to make it have a much wider backing. So there's way more surface area on the back of your head. It makes it far more comfortable. And I've said, with traveling, you don't have the room for, you know, a giant strap like this. You can put the stock strap on, you can put one of these on. It's still as comfortable as the stock strap can be. Hi, wait, what? Oh, you wanna come see what I'm doing? She looks very alert. You wanna come up here? So maybe we're actually figuring out a travel kit here. So if I can get one of these for Quest 3, one of these with a stock strap, or if we did get another soft strap somewhere here from Apex that works better, that might actually end up being my whole Europe travel kit. I'm hanging up with way too much on the table here. Oh, I almost said ask and you shall receive, but I think they accidentally doubled down on the Quest 3S covers. Dang it, I thought that was a Quest 3 one. Okay, fine. That is a cool idea though. I was actually just playing with a brand new headset, one that you haven't seen on the channel quite yet, I think. Comes with a cover like this, kind of like the Apple Vision Pro also comes with a cover like that. And it does make it just seem a little more premium. We're just getting through a mess of boxes here. Where are you? Do I want to reopen that can of worms right now? And for those of you who haven't been with the channel a long time, there's some stuff here that just really takes me back in kind of a fun way. Well, I think we've unboxed enough for today. I do need to go test this out and get back at you with some final thoughts. We'll use these a bit in the wild just to feel it out. I'll find out they actually have a Quest 3 only one of these. And then we do have a bit more to unbox next time around. We've got a couple charging docks, which I also want to check out. So we've got a good pile of stuff still left, but I feel like we've got more than enough to get done and get out before Black Friday to all of you. So let's cut away. I'm gonna take these things away, test them all out, and then come back at you with some final thoughts. And we're back. After much testing, much playing, gaming, all the more FitXR I've been doing, this new strap, quick verdict, it's coming to Europe with me. I like that it drops down really easy, fits in the backpack easily, it stays on your head, tight, breathable in the back, the top strap. Like I said, the only little issue I was having, you don't have a lot more room for a bigger head, but I kind of have an oversized head, so most of you are probably fine in that situation. This would not be my everyday home strap. You know, I do like that you can lay back in this, which is another thing some of you might really like the benefit of. And the cool thing is, even though it's silicone, you can leave this part looser, as we finally figured out, and you don't even have to tighten this part down. So if you were laying back, a lot of times games, the stock strap or other straps always are pulling. They're elastic. They're like a pair of tighty whities. They're just always squeezing everything you don't want to be. This won't do that if you don't tighten it down like that. You could literally put it back and you can be laying back and it's not adding any pressure to your face. So it's actually kind of a nice one, potentially for like race simmers who really don't want anything on the back of their head. You do need probably some sort of battery unless you're just cabling into your PC. So there's even more uses for it beyond what I'm using it for, but I was really surprised by this and I'm taking it to Europe. So it's gonna be my workout head strap the whole time I am there. If I didn't have this, if this hadn't come out, if I hadn't heard of this, I would have taken this with me with the stock strap because I just really need that space in my bag. These are nice if you don't want to do this whole strap, you just want to save some money, or if you just want something really cheap and easy to make the stock strap more comfortable. Still nothing like a great aftermarket strap, but this thing just balances that weight on the back of your head so nicely with the shape. These aren't bad either, but I don't need it because now I have this one. I could talk about these things for way too long and I probably will. Now, when I like a Quest 3 accessory, I put it on my headset or I put it on mine and I use it. When I love one, I give them away or I share them and I keep another one for myself. I have given away multiple sets of these to people because I want them to experience it. I want them to use it. I want them to play. Jeff Baz, who runs those VR zones where we go and we play VR with tons of people, I gave him a set. I was like, you gotta have these for pistol whip, man. You just have to have them. And he's like, I play them all the time. I thought he might like show people them on the show floor. He's like, no, those are mine. I'm not sharing them. So he doesn't share them like me. Again, as I said before though, it is a little front heavy. Eventually you do have to worry if you're taking the battery off and on too much, you do have to kind of worry about the battery coming off. But that feeling, the first time you put this on and you play a shooter that you play for and you pull the trigger and you feel the hit instead of just that weak vibration in the controller, it's so good. It's so good. Highly recommend. They aren't cheap. Although they are on sale right now, check them out. Get a set though. If you're doing this with shooters or if you're demoing VR with a lot of people, and do what it said, if you try it like with Pavlov and stuff, if you're doing it like this and also kind of using it as a gun stock where you still have your hand free, but you can stabilize like this, these things are cool. I said it in the first video, I've played with them ever since, I've given away multiple sets, and I'll say it again, these are cool. I want to see more of this kind of innovation in the industry. Highly recommend. There's tons of facial interfaces out there. Their facial interface works just as well. I like the design of the buttons on the side to be able to move it in and out for people with glasses. It's fine. It may be the one that comes to Europe with me. I haven't really decided on that yet. I am kind of missing the fan, so I might see about one that has a fan on it instead, but it does have vents, so it does at least get some airflow, and it works. Like most other facial interfaces at this point, it's fine. If it's a low price, it's on a good sale, and you just want a good functioning facial interface that's gonna work for you, this one's totally fine for that. Shark grips, shower mode. What a bunch of you point out in the comments, and the purpose what these actually do is games like No Man's Sky, or there's another one, is it VTOL? Big flight sim games that are playable on Quest that don't use a HOTAS, they don't use a proper joystick and stuff. They use the controllers, even Ultra Wings does it. These allow you to hook them to something, and now you have a joystick that stays in place. Because normally what's happening is you're like holding the joystick and you're doing this number, and you can't see in VR what your hand is technically doing, so you're probably doing this, trying to fly the plane. Not very realistic. These allow you to hook it down and then control them that way. I will warn you, if you do try these for that, they will help. You might even be able to put them on your arm, on your chair, but when you go to remove them, don't just Hercules. Pull as hard as you can. They are still silicone and you will stress this part out. That's why there's these side shark fin things, and actually it's more like a whale tail. So when it's done, you push up on the side and unhook it that way, so you're not just putting all the strain of pulling it off this way. So there is actually a function besides taking them in the shower, which I don't actually recommend because there is not any game mode that I know that wants you to have your controller in the shower, and the controllers are not waterproof at all, so don't do that. They did send us a Quest 2 strap, which we had used many of these like these before. At this point, if you're even looking for a Quest 2 strap, this is a Halo one. It works like other Halo ones. I wouldn't go out of my way to get this one, or honestly, there's still 10 million Quest 2s in the wild, and the Quest 2 is a great headset. But right now you can get a Quest 3S for $200, which is an okay upgrade, or if you can get to the Quest 3, it's such an upgrade from the Quest 2, especially as they're dropping support on the Quest 2, and more games don't work on the Quest 2, and Quest 2s are dying. But I know it was a lot of people's top headsets, but there's so many other head straps to choose from out there for Quest 2 if you're still looking for one. Yeah, definitely get one with a battery on it, in my opinion. Great accessories. Big thanks to Apexino for sending over this huge box that we've been playing around with all winter. I'm very excited about this though, because I was thinking all this time, what am I gonna do for this Euro trip that I'm about to go on? What's also exciting is I might see some of you over there. Some of you are talking to me, telling me where to go in Europe, where you're at, where to hang out. Some of you are gonna be at the United XR conference. So hit me up, Discord, Instagram, wherever. If you're over in that area and we might be able to hang out while I'm there, I will have my headset and a backpack, and that is all, which is kind of exciting. So sadly it means I probably won't bring these around to show any of you with my limited space. But again, if you haven't tried these yet, try them out. pistol whip and these are like the perfect combo. But what do you think? What accessories are you currently rocking? What are you liking? What are you looking to try, or what do you want me to try? I've got tons more still. We at least probably have one more video here worth of boxes that we'll try and get through as soon as I get back. All this happens because of your support, all of you out there. You've taken care of me for so many years now. Absolute thank you to all of you. And I'll see you in another reality.